Good afternoon, everyone. Now we go to the visual diagnosis sa inspection, continuation sa Shen Vitality Part 4. So, number 3, the spirit and the constitution. When observing the mental and emotional state of a person, it is important, first of all, to assess the relative strength of the spirit compared to that of the constitution. Both the prenatal and the postnatal as described above. The spirit and the constitution are both reflections of the essence and chi of the body. The former in the mental spiritual sphere and the latter in the physical sphere. Because of the close connection between the spirit and the constitution of a person, generally a strong pre- and postnatal constitution is accompanied by a strong spirit. Conversely, a weak pre- and postnatal constitution is generally accompanied by a weak spirit. So, na-determine pala natin sa condition ng pre- and postnatal chi, whether it is weak and strong. So, this also represent strong or a weak spirit. However, there may be cases in which there is a divergence between these two aspects. For example, when a person has strong pre- and postnatal constitution, but a weak spirit, or a vice versa. So there could also be conditions that naiiba din po yung condition ng spirit. Okay? An assessment of the relative strength of the constitution and the spirit is helpful in forming a prognosis, which will be discussed below. So there are 4 possible situations. First, yung strong spirit and with a strong constitution. Next is the weak spirit and weak constitution. Letter C, weak spirit and strong constitution. And letter D, strong spirit and weak constitution. So we go to the first, which is the strong spirit and strong constitution. So observation, a person with a strong spirit and strong constitution will have a solid muscle, a lustrous normal complexion, a vigorous expression in shining eyes, a strong body, a lustrous hair, agile movement, and keen reflexes. On a mental spiritual level, this person will have a high spirit, a positive approach to life, a stable personality, a strong willpower, a clear sense of direction in life, and a keen intellect. Okay? Sa clinical significance, the above physical and mental characteristics indicate both a good constitution and a strong spirit. The internal organs of such a person are strong and function normally. Chi and blood are abundant, and the mind and spirit are healthy. The body will not be easily invaded by pathogenic factors. Even if diseases occur, they can be easily cured. So, yan po yung magkagandahan ng strong spirit. So, chapter 19 of the simple question says, if the upright chi and the body build of a patient are both strong, any disease will be easy to treat. If the complexion is lustrous and bright, and the patient will recover soon. So chapter 20 of the simple question says, if the body build and the upright chi are both strong, the patient will survive. So yan po yung good prognosis sa strong ng spirit. Next is the weak spirit and weak constitution. So observation, a person with a weak spirit and a weak constitution will be listless, with unemaciated body build, a haggard complexion, dull eyes, withered hair, feeble voice. From a mental emotional point of view, he or she will suffer from apathy, depression, lack of willpower, a confusion about their path in life, and a slow intellect. Sa clinical significance, the above characteristics indicates that the patient has both has both a weak spirit and weak constitution, and there will be a deficiency of yin, yang, qi, or blood. Any illness that such a person suffers from will tend to be long-lasting and chronic, and the body will be easily invaded by external pathogenic factors. The weak spirit will also hamper an improvement in the physical condition. A simultaneous weakness of both the spirit and the constitution generally indicates a poor prognosis. So, hindi po maganda ang prognosis. Next is the weak spirit and a strong constitution. So observation, a person with a weak spirit and a strong constitution will have a solid muscle, a strong body, lustrous hair, agile movement, and keen reflexes, large bones, a brisk walk, but dull eyes without sparkle, a haggard complexion without luster, and a weak voice. So iba po yung physical na shape or representation, and iba naman po doon sa sparkle ng eyes. Okay? From a mental emotional point of view, this person will tend to suffer from apathy, depression, lack of willpower, a confusion about their path in life, and a slow intellect. Okay? Sa clinical significance, a combination of weak spirit and a strong constitution is usually seen in patients who are born with a strong prenatal constitution, but whose mind and spirit are affected by life events. So, strong naman ang prenatal constitution, but affected po yung buhay ng tao, and yung mind and spirit niya is hindi maganda. Although the treatment of such patient is more difficult than it would be if they had a strong spirit, their strong constitution means that the prognosis is still relatively good. So maganda pa rin yung prognosis, and that the mind and spirit can recover their balance. So kaya pa rin makarecover and mabalance po yung mind and spirit. So chapter 19 of the simple question says, if the body build is strong and the upright chi and mind weak, the disease is difficult to treat. If the complexion is dark without luster, the disease is difficult to cure. Okay? Next is the strong spirit and weak constitution. So observation, a person with strong spirit and a weak constitution will suffer from chronic diseases and will have an emaciated body build, listlessness, a haggard complexion, dull eyes, withered hair, a feeble voice, hoarse breath, but a clear, loud voice, and eyes with luster. From the mental emotional point of view, the patient will have a high spirit, a positive approach to life, a stable personality, strong willpower, a clear sense of direction in their life, and a keen intellect. Okay? So yan po yung kagandahan ng strong spirit, and ito may weak constitution. Sa clinical significance, the combination of a weak constitution and a strong spirit may seem contrary to the fundamental tenet of Chinese medicine that sees the body and the mind as an integrated whole. In fact, in general, a weak pre- and postnatal constitution will be accompanied by a weak spirit. However, there are exceptions to this, as some people seems to be able to maintain a strong spirit despite a poor constitution. The prognosis in this case is better than in the previous case because the strong spirit helped by treatment. It is able to harness the healing powers of the body. So mas maganda po daw yung prognosis kung ang client or patient may strong spirit even with weak constitution. Okay? So thank you for your attention.